Pastor David here, and we are on Psalm 23. My challenge is I don't know that we're going to be able to cover all this. I mean, this is just right with all kinds of good stuff. Let's give it a try. Let's dive in Psalm 23. Listen to the words of guidance in verses 1 through 3. I'm reading from the New King James Version. When you sit down to eat with a ruler, consider carefully what is before you, and put a knife to your throat if you are a man given to an appetite. Do not desire his delicacies, for they are deceptive food. Well, this king, this ruler, this person in high authority, has invited you to dine with him for a reason other than how good the meal is. He has something he wants from you. That's the purpose of the meal. He has an agenda. And so this is saying be very careful if your appetite is in charge of you when you get together with someone like this. They may be out to deceive you, and you may be susceptible to that if the food is what's on your mind. Isn't that true? You know, there's a lot of these companies out there that want you to sit down for a seminar, a retirement seminar, an investment seminar, and they offer you a steak meal at a nice restaurant. But understand that their purpose is other than feeding you a meal. They have a financial agenda. Well, most people have an agenda. You know, it can be good, it can be bad, it can be indifferent, but most people have an agenda, and so this is just a practical word of advice, I think. Look at verse 4 and 5, and the end of verse 5 is very well known. It says, "Do not overwork to be rich because of your own understanding. Cease. Will you set your eyes on that which is not? For riches certainly make themselves wings. They fly away like an eagle toward heaven." Can't you just picture that? All your money develops wings and just flies away, and you wave goodbye, never see you again. It's saying that's the way money is, And where it says don't overwork to be rich, I don't believe that's saying you shouldn't work hard to make money. I mean, we should work hard to make money. We should apply ourselves diligently and consistently to do that. But understand that you can't put your faith in money because money is fleeting. What is not fleeting? Well, the Lord Jesus Christ. He says, "I'll never leave you. I will never forsake you." Well, looky here. Verse 9. "Do not speak in the hearing of a fool, for he will despise the wisdom of your words." You know, in a conversation with someone, you can usually discern as you're into that conversation whether this person's really interested in what you have to say or really values your careful thought and careful deliberation about the matter. A lot of times they're not. And this is basically saying don't waste your breath on somebody that doesn't value what you have to say. Verse 17, "Do not let your heart envy sinners, but be zealous for the fear of the Lord all the day, for surely there is a hereafter, and your hope will not be cut off." The great equalizer, as far as life is concerned for us believers, is there is a hereafter. Things aren't always fair in this life, and sometimes the sinner seems to win, and the believer seems to lose. But understand that there is a hereafter, and that will more than make up for the inequalities of this life. Well, I want to skip on down to verse 29 and following. It's a picture of the effect of drunkenness. And I just think it's a vivid picture. You know, we believe in abstinence. We teach it. We preach it. And, the best way to stay away from drunkenness is just don't partake. But whatever you believe concerning alcoholic beverages, it's clear the Bible pictures drunkenness as a sin and as something that is the opposite of wisdom. Well, let me just read this. "Who has woe? Who has sorrow? Who has contentions? Who has complaints? Who has wounds without causes? Who has redness of eyes? those who linger long at the wine, those who go in search of mixed wine. Let me stop there. Here's a person with all these bruises and all of these wounds, and they wonder where they came from. It's because what you were involved in the night before, you don't remember, because wine has wiped that memory from you. You got in fights, you did stupid things, you fell, and that's a result of being overcome with intoxication. So it says in verse 11, do not look at the wine when it is red, when it sparkles in the cup, when it swirls around smoothly. It's talking about a fermented wine. It's talking about alcohol. It says, at last it bites like a serpent and stings like a viper. Your eyes will see strange things, and your heart will utter perverse things. Yes, you will be like one who lies down in the midst of the sea. You know, that bed feels like it's moving. Or like one who lies on the top of the mast, saying, they have struck me, but I was not hurt. They have beaten me, but I did not feel it. When shall I awake that I may seek another drink? Isn't that sad? That even after all of these negative effects that come from being drunken, that when it's all felt and all the hurt has come your way, then in a little while you say, when I awake, I'll just get another drink. That's something that controls you. That's something that owns you. And what should be controlling you and owning you is not alcohol, but the Spirit of God. And I pray if that's your struggle in your life with alcohol or drugs, that you would trade that kind of control for the control of the Spirit of God. I believe with all my heart that God can give you the strength necessary to say no to sin and yes to righteousness. And I pray that that's the case in your life. God bless you. We'll pick up with chapter 24 of Proverbs next time.